Welcome back to another Tradesyncer tutorial. My name is Kejvi, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your first Tradesyncer connection. We're going to talk about Tradovate, NinjaTrader, DxFeed, Rithmic, and ProjectX. So let's get to it. This is the first screen that you're going to see if you click on the Connections tab right here on the left corner, and it will say Add your first connection. So let's do that. We click on this button right here, and it will prompt us to select a broker. Now, we're going to start with Tradovate and NinjaTrader because both of these are owned by NinjaTrader. It is the same connection. So let's first start with a connection name. Usually what I like to do here is I put the broker and then I do the prop firm like this, okay? You can put this any way you wish, right? This is just internal for you to kind of remember what the connections are, but you can put these any names you wish. So we scroll down. We select the environment, demo, right, if you're using a prop firm, and then live if you have a live account or a personal account. So once you do that, I'm going to be connecting here evaluations and funded accounts. So I click continue, and it will redirect us to the Tradovate page, which here you can put in your username and password that you use with your prop firm. Log in. It's going to take a second here to verify the credentials, and very, very important, Tradesyncer does not store these credentials, okay? It is a private connection that Tradesyncer does with Tradovate, so these passwords and usernames are not stored within Tradesyncer. One thing that you got to do, not just for Tradovate, but for all of the other connections, make sure that you have signed in your professional or non-professional agreements on your broker, okay? Now, it says connected. It is enabled on default. And here it says 0 out of 20 accounts. Now, what we want to do is basically add these accounts. So we click details. And then here we have the list of all of our accounts. You can enable all accounts here at the top. Or if I just want to import only one account, I can just click on this first account here and it says account activated. If I go back, it is 1 out of 20 accounts. So that's how you can connect your Tradovate or NinjaTrader accounts. Now, for you Tradesyncer users who want to use Tradesyncer with a Rithmic connection, here's what we're going to do. We're going to click Add the connection here again. We're going to choose Rithmic as the broker. And here, we're going to do the same thing. Rithmic, and I'll do Lucid Trading, right? I'm going to scroll down. On the broker, you want to select the prop firm, okay? So I'm going to scroll here. I'm going to find the prop firm that I'm using. Lucid Trading. And then here, we're going to put the username and password that Lucid Trading or the platform that you're using gave you for Rithmic, okay? It's not the username and password for Lucid, but what they provided you with, what credentials they provided you with when you signed up for the Rithmic connection. Okay, so once you put your username and password, you click connect. And there we go, account added or connection added successfully. And here it says 0 out of 20 accounts. We want to click on details so we can actually activate the accounts. And then you can either activate each account individually or enable all accounts at the top right corner. So let's say I only want to enable this account. I will enable it here. It says account enabled successfully. And there she is. Okay. 1 out of 20 accounts added inside Tradesyncer. And for all of you Tradesyncer users who want to use Tradesyncer with DxFeed, here's the steps to connect your DxFeed connections. We're going to click Add a Connection. Choose DxFeed right here. Connection name. So I will do DxFeed my funded futures. Okay, because that's what I'm using. Username and password. Here you want to put your username and password for DxFeed specifically. The prop firm, in this example, My Funded Futures, should provide you with that username and password. Again, it is not the username and password that you use for the prop firm on its own, right? It's for the DxFeed connection, which the prop firm provides you with when you do sign up with them. Okay, so here I have inputted my username and password for My Funded Futures. I'm going to click connect. It's going to take a second here to verify. Connection added successfully. Okay. We have 0 out of 20 accounts, right? So we are able to add 20 accounts here, but none of them are added. So how do we add them? We click details. And then we can either enable all accounts at the top right corner if we want all of those accounts to come to Tradesyncer and be used. Or if you want to do them individually, we can click this button right here, enabling, and it is enabled successfully. So if I go back, we can see that we have 1 out of 20 accounts added. And lastly, for all of you Tradesyncer users who want to copy trade your ProjectX or TopStepX accounts, here's the way you do that. We're going to click add the connection here, choose ProjectX at the last button, add the connection name. So basically, you can do ProjectX, TopStep. And then if you scroll lower, it's going to ask for the broker. So basically, TopStepX. Now, the username, but here it says API key, very different from the other connection types. So there are a couple of extra steps that we need to do for this specific connection. So here's what you're going to need to do. You're going to go to a separate page called dashboard.projectx.com, and it's going to look something like this. Here, you're going to have to create a brand new account. No matter if you already have a ProjectX, TopStepX account with your prop firm, this is a separate login and password. So what you want to do is register again on dashboard.projectx.com. And once you sign in on that account, you're going to go on the left here to subscriptions, and you'll need this API subscription, okay? ProjectX, TopStepX do not allow third-party connections without you having this API access. So you're going to click here. And then it does show $29 a month, but a secret code for me, if you scroll all the way on the coupon code, if you put TopStep, you can actually get it for 50% off. I'm not sure if the Tradesyncer team knows that I'm putting this here, but 50% off if you use this coupon code right here. It's cheaper for you guys to use, and it's cheaper for you to use Tradesyncer as well, okay? Now, put in your card details and subscribe to the ProjectX API. Now, the next step is to go to the left here, linked accounts, and you'll see you have no linked accounts. Now, we want to link your accounts here. So you need to go to topstepx.com, right, or your ProjectX platform, and then click the settings icon on the left. At the top here, make sure you are on the API tab, and you'll have the API keys and the ProjectX linking. We're going to need the API key to sign up for Tradesyncer, but before we do that, we need to link the ProjectX. So we click link here. We click confirm, and on the linked accounts, it does show that we do have a linked account now with the API. So we go back to TopStepX. Now we add an API key. We want to now click this little show API key here and copy this. You can either copy this manually, or if this button works, you can copy the key from that point as well. And then this is the key that we need to go back to Tradesyncer and use it here. And then the username, this is the username for the prop firm, right? So for TopStep. We did add a ProjectX TopStepX connection successfully. On the accounts here, it says 0 out of 20, right? So we need to add the account, but the connection is successful. We click details, so we can either enable all accounts at the top right corner, or if you just want one specific account imported on Tradesyncer, we can just enable it here. And it says account enabled successfully. If we go back, we can see that we have 1 out of 20 accounts imported in Tradesyncer. So we went over how to connect your Tradovate and NinjaTrader account. We went over how to connect your Rithmic accounts. We went over how to connect your DxFeed and ProjectX TopStepX accounts. In the next video, we're going to talk about the cockpit and how we can actually add your accounts here, select your leader account, follower accounts, and understand how to use the cockpit. Again, my name is Kejvi Dema. I'm going to be your guide here throughout the rest of these Tradesyncer tutorials, and I'll see you on the next one.